So I was not planning to go live today, but it's Easter, I'm coding, so I said, you know what, let's turn the webcam on and go live. So I'm working on the material system for the engine, and because I really want to be able tomorrow to have the editor to add the possibility in the editor to manipulate shader, the material settings, and textures, so the ability to change them in the editor. In order to do that, I still really don't have a system for setting the custom material settings in this engine. One thing that was cool that I did this morning was I changed the way the engine is working when it comes to shaders. Originally, since from the Assetto Corsa days, I had shaders getting compiled, and then the shaders went into the folder in a compiled form, so in the final folder where the game or the editor will be. And I started to get more and more annoyed by this, because right now I have sort of like 3 major projects going on in this Rust branch, which is the flight simulator, the beginning of the sailing game, and the editor. And then it meant that I had to build the shaders for all these systems. So what I did, I changed, and I started to use something very cool that Rust has, which is the possibility. It's 2 cool things. One thing is the possibility to include bytes inside the executable from code. So here I can just say, okay, just create me a shader with this from this binary compiled file, right? So that was cool. And the other thing is the awesome cargo system, where you can have this thing, the build script for cargo. And what I do is, when I build this, I also build the shaders. And I had to fiddle a little bit to make sure that actually Rust was able to understand that it was time to build the shader and rebuild the library if the shader had changed, and also how to give me error messages if the shaders are wrong. And in fact, I can now go, for example, if I get a shader and I write an error and I build it, I get the error, and it's telling me blah 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 blah, I recognize identifier, blah 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 blah. I can even jump to the place in the code where the problem is. So that's super cool. And that also means that I don't have to bring the shader files together with me. They're just embedded into the executable. So that's cool, and happy about that. What the situation is at the moment is that I added this constant buffer for the material, where it's expected to set diffuse, ambient, specular exponent, and emissive color is just is going to be a very simple Phong shader, and because right now this is not set, these are all black. So what is happening is that everything comes up as black. So if I launch the game right now, let me just make sure that it doesn't waste time to load lots of planes, not just one. So it's faster. Yeah, so maybe it's all black. All the graphic stuff is still there. Everything is black. It's expected that And of course, self is dirty, is not false. Ooh, all right, okay. So back to the material. Okay, offset. Kill me with this hue size. Trying to set blah blah in material blah failed but not found. This is possible when loading something that where the shader has changed, so it makes sense that this is a warning for now and not really that bad. So name, self name, and that's it. Okay, so when I render a model, rotate. Where's the freaking rendering? Fill renderist. Ok, allora. What is this? Blah blah blah. Okay, I think this draw call we will have to add a constant buffer, and here we go on save because I don't want to deal with the nightmare of having this as a reference. So we're happy to go like this, and the way it works for now, super brutal, will be that the constant buffer that we set today, the auto-completion is completely fucked up. So what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? Because where are we? Draw call. Whoever you are that follow, thank you very much. I missed your name. So no, this thing still doesn't work. Hey Slemmin, how you doing? What are we working today? How long per day are you working right now? I'm working a lot. I mean, I wasn't really supposed to work today. I'm working a lot because I'm very excited. So it has been years since I've been so excited about writing code. So I can hardly sleep. I go to sleep and I think about, I have to do this and I have to do that. So quite a lot, but I'm enjoying it, so it's great fun, man. Yesterday I was having a lot of fun with Zeke, which is another language. Sadly, it doesn't have is not as mature as Rust, especially when it comes to tooling. It doesn't have just as if I can show you. It's not the right one. It's got basic syntax highlighting, but then it's got no completion, no navigation. So writing something big with this thing is going to be fun. But I love the language. It's so explicit. It's amazing. I really love it. Sadly, it's not ready. It's not ready for production. So, but Rust is good. Rust is good. So what I was saying that I was not happy with this because I want this to happen every time we do set value. The problem is if we do this, it will need a queue, a render queue to make this happen every time we do this. For now, let's put it in, and let's see how ugly this is going to be. Right. Okay. So we're almost there. We need to make sure now the renderer that I hope already has a cache for constant buffer. I hope. Does it have it? Render cache. Constant buffer, yeah. U64. Brutal, man. Brutal. Because in theory, I could pass the staging buffer. And if it is to be mapped, we map it. It's probably not a bad idea. So I don't have to faff around with this queue all the time. Let me think about this, because this is important. This is important. So what I'm saying is that draw call, instead of having this thing, it might have, in a rusty way, it could have an option to a pointer to staging constant buffer. Right? Or even better, it could be a pointer to a vector of staging constant buffers. Right, like this value, right? Okay, that looks good. So when we go in the forward, we need the concept of dirty again in here. Oh shit. So the staging constant buffer. So let's put back the dirty thing. It means that we will need a mutable staging constant buffer. This, of course, is going to be, we're killing the thread safety by doing this. So it means that if the renderer is multi-thread and we're changing the values of the constant buffer on the another thread, this could be a fuck up, but I don't have a solution for now, so we'll leave with this. What was it? Compare swap? Where is it? Where is it? Check and swap. Check and swap. Check and swap what? So what is the problem here? So the problem is it expected a reference to whatever. I found a row pointer. It was expecting a reference and it found a okay, so is it bound a reference to a row pointer, isn't it? Yeah, okay, the first one we got it, the second one, what is this? Oof. Okay. We got it. So we got here, we got the cache. What we do with this thing? Ref slot. What's wrong with this picture? So ref commit is private. Fucking hell. What are we complaining about here? Cannot borrow. Here we go. Here it is. Fighting with the borrow checkers. Here we go. Why you need to complain about the fact that I'm taking a mutable reference to that vector? is diffuse K, and we want to put a shader value float of 1, right? And this should give us back the diffuse. Doesn't why doesn't work. Is it a reference? Okay. And this should give us back some light. Fuck, it doesn't. All right. At slot 1? Why slot 1? That's our problem. That information to go to slot 1 comes from. So creating staging. So it's creating what? Yes, sure. Because I have, when I do the material, I have to ignore all the slots that are set by the system, right? Instead of only 1 and number 7, this, let's see, this hopefully should work. Yes, and we got light back. That works, great. So in theory, I can also put back the ambient light. Yeah, so we can do now self set bar ambient K and shader value float 1. I still don't understand why this because there I cannot make this copy, right? It would be nice if this was a value. Actually, I can. Do I want to though? Do I want to copy this or I don't want. Let's keep it as a reference. So now we should have also the ambient light back. And there is only one thing left to fix for tonight. Yeah, we got our ambient light back. Awesome. Whoops, stall. Cool. All right. So right now I'm leaking the. Am I leaking this in Rust? I don't think I am. Yeah. Should be fine. This could be code that I wrote months ago when I still didn't really understand. So when are we releasing? Yeah, it works. Device closed and where? Cool. Very cool. Right, before I close today, I want to do something with the editor before I finish. So first of all, let me check that the editor is still working with the new code for the shader. What's going on with if there is a crash in the editor. So I was creating a crash on purpose. So this should work. Yep. Okay. Not really. So for some reason, this one is not working with the new system. Yeah. It's that fucking material system that is killing me all the time. Right, so this works, and yes. Let's see if some Assetto Corsa fun recognize this one. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah, it works. Cool. That shouldn't be. Good. We're happy. We can build this. Let's move to C#. Building. Yeah. Let's move to C#. I can put like a combo box. Combo box for the shaders. Okay, shader count. Boom. 1. Name Rust. Blah 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 blah. Ah, right, of course. C# list string. Right. Good. And I should have the shaders here. Yeah. Okay. That looks satisfying for today. So the plan for tomorrow morning is to basically have, the idea is that when I load something, I will be able to select a material, and here we'll see, for now only we have one shader, so that won't do anything, but I can do some shader just to test. So we will be able to change the shader here, and there will be another property somewhere in this editor. There will be a place where we will see the variables for this material. So this material is Fong. We will see, where are you? We will see these stuff. So these 4 floats and a float 3 vector to be edited in the editor. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Thank you everybody guys for have joined me. Have a good Easter, have fun, stay home, and see you next time. Ciao ciao.